Genshin Impact needs changes, and I think I have some good ideas for them. As you all know, I play a lot of Genshin Impact, but lately I've been running into some things that I think can be improved. So here are my thoughts. Do note that these are my own opinions or stuff that I agree with from the community. And you do not have to fully agree with my opinions. So, with that out of the way, here are 9 things in Genshin that I think could use some changes. Resin. This is a thing a lot of the community has been talking about for a while now. And even though we got a resin cap increase in 4.7, where we went from 160 resin to 100, that didn't fully solve the resin problem. But Hoyo already has a way to solve it, if they implement it in Genshin. Honkai Star Rail has a feature called Trailblaze Reserve, in which an unused Trailblaze power is stored, if you miss a day. Even ZZZ and Wuthering Waves have it. So why not Genshin? As well, with the current resin cap and regeneration rate of the resin, it takes too long to have full resin again. This could be solved by halving the regeneration time from 8 minutes to 4, and or allowing players to use their starters instead of prime gens to get more resin. Weekly bosses. Genshin has a problem when it comes to the weekly bosses. There are currently 91 playable characters and 12 weekly bosses in the game. In order to fully level up a character talents from level 1 to 10, you need a total of 18 weekly boss drops, which would take at least 18 weeks to get, if you get lucky. Because these bosses can just drop the other 2 of their free drops, and then you have to wait another week in order to get another chance to get the drop you need. I think there are 3 ways to help reduce this problem. The first one is an increase in drop rate of the Dream Solvent. Currently, you have a 1 in 3 chance to get a Dream Solvent from a Trials domain. But if we were to increase that to a 1 in 2, then the problem with not being able to change the wrong drop to the one you desire to get is decreased. The second one is increasing the amount of times the cost for the drops is halved from 3 to 5. This way, players are more incentivized to do more Trials domains, and thus also might get more Dream Solvents, as well as more boss drops. The last one is changing the weekly reset system to a twice a week reset system. With how many characters there are in the game now, keeping it at a week is basically impossible to continue on. Instead, if there is a reset of the bosses on Wednesday, then we increase the speed at which characters can be built and allow you to get the boss drops you need more easily and faster. Domains. They should get rid of the specific day domains. In other games like Honkai Star Rail and Wuba, they allow you to farm resources on every day. But Genshin doesn't. And I will illustrate this properly with an example. Let's say, for instance, that you get a brand new character and you want to start building them. You haven't pre-farmed or anything because you don't know the drops that you needed beforehand. Well, they might need materials that are only available on one weekday and in the weekend that isn't the day that you got the character. Meaning that you can't go and build them and have to wait. Which is only frustrating when you really like the character and want to use them. As well, Genshin already has all possible materials in domains available on weekends. Why not just make that a permanent thing? Hell, they even do in-game events to do that.
Stygian Onslaught. With the recent release of Stygian Onslaught, Genshin has added another game experience to the game, though it has already come with a lot of critique. First and foremost, the weapon skins. They are only reachable for those who spend so much money and or time on the game that their characters are built to almost utter perfection, or cheaters. For a free-to-play player like myself, who also doesn't have the time to play Genshin for the whole day, this is an unreachable thing. And then there's another thing, these skins are not permanent, they disappear after the reset of this endgame feature. Why? You earned it, why don't you get to keep it? Instead, I think that they should do the following. Make the 4-star weapon skins available on a lower difficulty, and do the same for the 5-star ones, but have them be on the tier above the 4-star skins. Secondly, make it a permanent item. Maybe if they do want some limit on it, make us choose for which weapon type we want a skin, and have it only be for that weapon type. Thirdly, make these weapon skins available in the Balance Exchange shop after they are changed for other weapon skins. A bit similar to how you can buy 4-star constellations in the shop, but maybe a little bit cheaper. Currently, this permanent event is pretty much pay to win. The wheels are the only ones who can reliably clear most of the permanent event. This should be changed.
Maybe make it so that there's like a rental team feature where the best performing teams can be rented in exchange for a currency. That way, the less powerful players power up the stronger ones and can also clear the content. When you look at the Stygian Onslaught and its mechanics, you start to notice something. Beefed up enemies to defeat on a timer, which is basically the same kind of gimmick that the Spiral Abyss and the Imaginary Theater use. Why not innovate and introduce a new boss fight mechanic, instead of buffing and debuffing characters if they are used? Maybe something like those events where in the first round you score points to get buffs in the second round, allowing for more strategized and dynamic gameplay. Lastly, I think the amount of primal gems that are rewarded for completing Stygian Onslaught should be increased. For completing either the Spiral Abyss or Imaginary Period, you get 800 primal gems, respectively. But Stygian Onslaught only rewards a total of 450 primal gems. I think this should also now be increased to also be 800. That way it's more on par with the other two endgame commentary systems. Trial run rewards. Each banner change, we get to trial the characters before wishing on them, so that we are certain that we want them and that we like their playstyle. These trials are pretty basic, fighting a certain amount of enemies on a timer. Unpredictable. The rewards you get for it are 20 prime gems and enough materials for the first ascension. I think that the prime gems should be increased to at least 40 prime gems, especially with the current banner system. The rest of the rewards though are fine. Banners. In the current banner system we have 3 limited time banners. The limited banner, weapon banner and sometimes the chronicled wish banner. That last one in my opinion should be permanently available. There are, as of writing this script, 91 characters in the game, many of which haven't had a banner in a long time. We have had a Chronicle Wish banner for Mondstadt, Leeway and Inazuma now, and still need to get ones for Sumeru, Fontaine and Natlan. I think that this banner should work as following. At the start of each patch you get to choose a region to wish for, similar to how you choose a weapon on the weapon banner. Then you get that region Chronicle Wish banner, which will function like normal for the rest of it. The pizza you build up on this banner should also be treated like with the normal banners and carry over from patch to patch. Old events. I myself missed the first and second Golden Archipelago events. The first one because I didn't play the game at that time, and the second one because I was too low of an AR to play it. But I also missed the Dragon Spine event, the Chalk Eater Prince and the Dragon, which became very important in the 5.6 Archon quest. And I wasn't the only one who missed that event. So why not make certain older events permanently playable? Something that they once again did for Honka and Star Rail. There was for them only being available for the first time you play a certain stage of these events, just like normal, but afterwards you can keep on playing it. This way, fan favorite events can stay in the game, same goes with event areas. Please make it so that all the summer event areas remain accessible in some way. Maybe even through an item in the inventory, but it's so sad to have an entirely new region on the map for only one patch, and it then never returning. Their team put a lot of hours into creating a unique area for one event. Why waste it like that? And they have already been improving with things like this. The Resin World Quest area from the Little Ones World Quest are all accessible even after you've completed the story. So they could do the same here for the older event areas. So in the recent Genshin Impact special program for 5.8, it was revealed that the new special area for the summer event will be a permanent area, which is already an improvement from what it was before. So that's already a win. Still, the older areas should be also made permanent. Battlepass. The Battlepass has been a feature for a while now. In version 5.0 a new mission was added which rewards the players with primal gems, which is a good thing. But for people not paying for the Battle Pass, these 60 primal gems are the only ones you're going to be getting from here. So what I would like to suggest is either one of two things to be implemented. The first one being a feature that once you have completed the Battle Pass, all following daily and weekly missions that get completed will count towards other rewards, which include primal gems. Maybe with something like a point system. Depending on how many you complete, you get more points the more rewards you get. For the second one, I think just adding a small amount of primal gems to the free reward list of the Battle Pass would be good as well. Maybe like every 10 levels you get a standard banner wish and 50 primal gems. As well as this, I think the amount of Mora Essence and EXP books should be increased. I also think that the inclusion of more daily and weekly missions could do the Battle Pass some good, refreshing it for older players and pointing to more things to do for newer players. Daily commissions. Since the introduction of the Resin point system that allows you to easily collect all primers from daily commissions, I haven't actually done them. Because why would I? I could just get them by spending resin on stuff I would have done either way. So, if they want to keep commissions relevant, maybe introduce a system where when you actually complete the commission, you get a higher amount of primer gem than when you claim it by using the point system. I'd say that doubling the rewards for doing the commissions would be a good idea. So 20 prime gems instead of the 10, with the final reward for all of them becoming 40 instead of 20. But if you complete by using the points, you get the odd amount of primers, resulting in a total of 60 primers for when you use points, and 120 for when you actually do the commission. Anyways, these were just some of my thoughts on what should change in Genshin Impact. Do you agree, or do you have some more suggestions? Leave a comment with your own input. But with that, I'm the Black Dragon, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye!